Hi everyone, PGA here. Sorry I could not make it there in person because I've got a course to attend in IPA this very moment. Right, on to my presentation. I attended a workshop last year entitled ASEAN Risk Communication Workshop, Making a Difference. That was held between 2nd and 4th December 2014. The workshop was held at the Institute Pengurusan Kesihatan Kementerian Kesihatan, KL, Malaysia. It was jointly organized by the ASEAN Secretariat and Kementerian Kesihatan, Malaysia. Basically, there were 6 main plenaries covered during the 3-day course. That is, what risk communication is all about, where are we now with risk communication, number 3, bridging the gap between risk assessment and risk communication, number 4, rapid response risk assessment for all hazards acute events, number 5, message mapping, and number 6, best practices for media release. And on the last day, I got to visit the Crisis Preparedness and Response Center, which is my favorite part of the 3-day course. Plenary 1 is talking about risk communications, what I learned during that plenary. Firstly, why is there an increased interest on risk communication, or RC? The answer is simply because what the public perceive RC is about is so much different from what the government perceive RC is about. Example, the public demand for transparent information on times of crisis and demand for immediate action, whereas the government tends to stick to good governance and sees that the public has unrealistic demand for risk reductions. Now, what is risk communication really? By definition, it is an open two-way exchange of information and opinions about risk that leads to better understanding and better risk management decisions by all involved. It is also an ever-changing type of communication depending on the risk or crisis. We also learn about the principles for an effective risk communication. To summarize this particular plenary on this issue, let's put it this way. Effective risk communication requires us to share responsibilities. We need to establish expertise in risk communication. As always, we need to know who our audience are. We need to involve scientific experts, be a credible source for information, and transparency is definitely a must. We need to have empathy and sincerity, and lastly is to put risk into perspective. Another thing to consider as well for an effective RC is that in high concern situations, people want to know that you care before they care what you know. Right. And the outcome of an effective risk communication are the communities are more alert to the risks. We can enable the public to make more informed decisions. Government will be able to understand public perception in order to anticipate a response plan. We can get to improve the dialogue to reduce tension. We can counter or correct rumors and keep decision makers well informed. So that's plenary number 1.
Created using Powtoon.